Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on KAJ, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Ariana Lake. A new team is taking over management of the now more than 1,500-acre Sprague fire burning in Glacier National Park, a Type 2 wildland fire management team that specializes in battling long-duration fires will be coming in to fight this. Fire managers are estimating there are at least 2 weeks left of fire season in Glacier National Park, and they expect that this fire will burn until we get significant rain or snow. This fire is located about 9 miles northeast of West Glacier. You can check the park's website for the latest updates on trail and campground closures. There's also a fire information line available to call. It's staffed from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The Blue Bay fire east of Polson above Highway 35 has now burned 480 acres. It's 60% contained. The Confederated Salish and Kootenai Division of Fire will be holding a public meeting on Monday, August 28th. That starts at 7 p.m. It'll be held at the Blue Bay campground. This lightning-caused blaze is burning above the Blue Bay recreation site and East Shore community areas. It's not directly threatening any homes or structures, though. I hope you enjoyed yesterday's break from all the heat, because Chief Meteorologist Aaron Yost says we're heading back toward hot and hazy conditions. Aaron?
Yeah, we sure are. Today, another one of those nice days where we got to enjoy some cooler temperatures, that and much improved air quality, not only for us, but well to the south of us across west central and some of southwest Montana, where it has been very hazardous over the last several weeks now. Today is one of those days where a lot of folks could breathe easy. We are seeing a westerly flow move into the region, hence these clearer conditions. Now up next, we have some building high pressure that did start to build in today, but it's going to strengthen in a big way this weekend into early next week with some serious heat and dry conditions. A forecast update on the way.
Thanks, Aaron. The Lolo Peak fire has grown to just under 35,000 acres. Some mandatory evacuations in Florence were eased yesterday. Fire managers reporting that yesterday's weather helped moderate fire activity after the previous night's run toward One Horse Creek Canyon. The number of structures threatened by this fire has jumped to 661. There are now over 1,200 people assigned to battle the Lolo Peak fire. It's cost an estimated $28 million to fight. And you can continue to watch our extensive fire coverage of other major fires burning across western Montana by visiting us online at KJ18.com. Montana State Auditor Matt Rosendale is encouraging Montanans to keep track of all wildfire damage and the work with their insurance agents to recover from losses. He says policyholders generally understand that if their property burns down or is damaged by fire, their insurance company pays for damages. However, many policies also provide additional protection and coverage for damage and losses indirectly caused by wildfires, including smoke damage. Also, if property owners are subject to a mandatory evacuation order, many insurance policies provide extra living expense coverage for up to 2 weeks. But Rosendale says the most important thing is documentation.
Before an event, folks need to make a checklist of personal property that they have. If it's being kept in a paper form, they need to make sure that they keep that in a fireproof container. It's much better to keep it in a digital backup on a cloud or on a thumb drive that they can take that with them very easily.
Montanans who experience losses from wildfires and have questions about their insurance policy or an issue with their insurance company should contact Rosendale's office at 406-444-2040. In national news tonight, Texas is gearing up for what could be the most powerful storm to hit the U.S. in 12 years. CBS News reporter Weijia Zhang is in Corpus Christi, where Hurricane Harvey could slam ashore within hours.
A violent surf is crashing into the Texas Gulf Coast as Hurricane Harvey whips closer to landfall. Forecasters expect it to bring at least 20 inches of rain, in some areas much more, enough to turn towns into islands for days.
Brace yourself, prepare for the worst, and be ready to try and get out of town as quick as you can.
Chris Rickers isn't leaving.
I decided to stay to protect my house.
Are you worried about your decision to stay?
A little bit. I'm mainly worried about my kids.
Governor Greg Abbott is pushing everyone to head inland.
You have the power and the ability right now to be able to avoid being stuck into a search and rescue situation if you make the decision to get out of harm's way before it is too late.
Meteorologists expect the storm to be a Category 3 hurricane as it makes land. That would mean winds topping 115 miles per hour.
7 coastal counties from here in Corpus Christi to Galveston Island have ordered mandatory evacuations. Officials say they cannot guarantee rescues for people who stay behind.
This retirement home loaded residents for the ride to Austin.
I would have preferred to hunker down at home, but my concerns are for the people of Corpus Christi and our city.
The National Weather Service says the winds could be life-threatening, but that the greatest threat is from potentially catastrophic flooding. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Corpus Christi, Texas.
In the worst case scenario, forecasters say some locations may be uninhabitable for weeks, if not months. Back in the Treasure State, Montana Congressman Greg Gianforte was photographed and fingerprinted today for his May 24th assault charge for punching a reporter, but his mugshot is not publicly available unless a judge rules otherwise. Gianforte pleaded guilty June 12th to misdemeanor assault for punching Guardian reporter Ben Jacobs on the eve of the special election that Gianforte won. Yet in Gallatin County, mugshots are considered confidential criminal justice information. That means they can't be publicly released unless someone requests it, and that needs to be approved by a state district judge. Any requester will have to show that the public's right to know outweighs Gianforte's privacy right. MTN News has submitted a request to get a copy of the mugshot. The Missoula man recently freed from prison after he was exonerated of a 15-year-old rape is back behind bars. 35-year-old Cody Marble was arrested Wednesday in South Dakota for a possible parole violation. Marble is on parole for a 2013 conviction of drug possession. Marble left the state this spring after he was accused of an assault in Conrad. His father says when his son was exonerated of the rape conviction, he should have been released from all probation. But state corrections officials say a judge never dismissed his drug charge. Marble was freed from prison last year after Missoula County prosecutors dismissed his 2002 rape conviction. He was exonerated with the help of the Montana Innocence Project. And in regional news, police in North Dakota say the newborn found in a Fargo apartment yesterday is likely the kid of a missing woman who was 8 months pregnant when she vanished last week. 22-year-old Savannah Graywind lived close to the apartment, was last seen helping a neighbor there on Saturday. William Hone and Brooke Cruz are now both in custody. Both have been charged with conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Police previously questioned the suspects and searched their apartment, but they did not find anything suspicious there. After more investigating, they issued a search warrant, and that's when they found the baby. The search for Graywind is ongoing. Health insurance prices are increasing for new retirees. Couples retiring this year will need about $275,000 saved up to cover their health care costs during retirement. That's up 6% from last year, and those costs are expected to keep rising. Experts at financial service company Fidelity released that estimate last week. They say each situation is unique, and a couple's health, life expectancy, and retirement age could change projected expenses. The Montana Department of Livestock says a new case of brucellosis has been found here in the state. The heifer is from a Madison County herd. It tested positive after previously testing negative in December. That indicates this is a recent infection. This time, elk are the likely source of the infection, according to officials. The ranch has around 1,000 head of cattle. It's been placed under quarantine, and the department has initiated an investigation there. Quarantine for the ranch can last up to 8 months, and officials say neighboring herds will also be put under quarantine till they complete a herd test as well.
Salute to Service is brought to you by Flathead Electric Cooperative, your not-for-profit member-owned co-op.
For this week's Salute to Service, we bring you the story of a Flathead Electric journeyman lineman. Many people think these linemen are just there to restore power during outages, but they're often first responders on accidents, fires, and other emergencies too. MTN's Jack Ginsburg introduces us to a lineman dedicated to serving the community.
So no day is really normal. We don't know what we're going to do from day to day. It's come to work and nothing gets scheduled. That's one of the things I like about my job.
Travis Tennyson has been working at Flathead Electric for over 10 years now and has seen quite a lot while on the job.
Monster ponderosa tree burning, and all the limbs had fire shooting out of every hole and every limb, and with a dead horse probably 40 yards away.
Tennyson, along with 3 other coworkers, Chad Bessett, Chuck Johnson, and Doug Tu, recently came across another rare incident. They all played a part in saving Darlene Hill's life when she collapsed in her driveway, cracked her skull open, and bled for up to 20 minutes before the lineman noticed and attended to her. When I asked Tennyson about the recognition he had received for performing first aid and stopping the bleeding, he was more than modest about it.
Yeah, I held towels on a lady's head, applied pressure.
When Hill was taken to the hospital, doctors determined that she was minutes from death and credited the first responders as instrumental to saving her life. All 4 linemen were recognized by receiving the Lifesavers Response Award for their efforts. Reporting in Kalispell, Jack Ginsburg, MTN News.
Over 30 linemen cover the area at any given time, helping power with homes and doing whatever else they can to serve the community. Coming up next, TSA is considering changing its cargo screening protocols, and we'll show you newly restored video from Princess Diana's wedding day. That's next on KAJ 18.